Hello, I'm Derek Best, and I'll be teaching you how to load in foliage and rocks and clutter into your terrain using DecoLayers. To start out with, you want to go into terrain editing mode, and for the sake of this tutorial, we've already set up some different material layers, but you want to go to your topmost layer, and you want to right click and pick New Deco Layer. You want to name this something significant, calling this one trees. From there you want to go into the content browser and you want to go into the package that you're going to be using for this terrain, and I've already made one for the sake of this tutorial, and I'm going to be using my tree static mesh. And you can't forget to fully load the package you're going to be using, because you can't use any static meshes if you don't do that. And also make sure you save if you've made any changes. But with that selected, you go back into the terrain edit and you go to your deco layer and right click, add selected decoration. This will add the mesh, but you still have to go into properties to set how it'll show up when you place it with the brush. And this will be under DecoLayers, which I've already expanded. But normally it's underneath the 0 in the array. And you want to go down to density, and this is how, if it's pretty much visible or not, and how many of them show up when you're painting. So you want to put that to 1. And min and max scale, that all depends on what asset you're bringing in, and I happen to know this one's fairly large, so I'm going to put 0.3, 0.39. That'll be the smallest trees and the largest trees it places when it places them randomly. It helps break things up, and everything's in its right place there. So you want to close out of that, close out of your content browser, and go to paint. Zoom out here, and I just want to control left click and it'll start placing trees. A little bit of a forest here. It's a little bit of a lag on it sometimes if you hold in one spot. And this is only placing one static mesh because there's only one static mesh in the array for that deco layer. But next up I will show you how to place multiple static meshes and have them scatter out with the brush in an organic fashion. Alright, I think that should be enough trees. Maybe one more. Give me one more. Come on. Okay, well I guess it's not going to paint another tree. Alright. Collapse that and click on the topmost layer, which is your trees, and hit New Deco Layer. Name this one, I'm naming this one Rocks. I want to repeat the steps from earlier. Go to the content browser, and up here we've got 3 rocks for the sake of this. Go to right click on the deco layer and add selected decoration to this second rock. Repeat, and the last rock. Okay, now you got 3 static meshes in there, and you can go to properties, and your deco layers, layer 0 was your tree layer, and this is the next one in your deco layers. And under decorations, you'll find all three of your rocks. You want to expand these so you can edit some parameters. Put 1 for density, repeat, repeat. And I know these are the right scale, so I'm just going to put 1 for min scale. And for max, I'm going to put 0.3, or just mix it up a little bit. Okay, now that that's set, also you can use random seed, but I typically have just stuck with min and max scale. It seems to be enough. Close out of your content browser. Go to paint with rocks layer selected, and control left click. And now you're placing rocks, random sized rocks, in 3 different meshes. You can see down here you have all 3 of the static meshes that you put into the array. Floating in that case, but for the most part placed on the ground properly. Alright. We've got some rocks in there. We can close out of our terrain edit and build our lighting, not using light mass. Ignore that. Gotta play this level. There you go. Some rocks and trees in your level. Take a bullet too. Alright, there you go. Now you know how to place foliage into terrain.